has always had its own view on referenda and democracy. It all reminds us of an old movie starring Thanasis Vigos that speaks of dictatorship.
Τώρα θα ρίξει όχι. Όχι! Ναι ρε!
In the EU, if your vote is wrong, you have to try again, until you get it right. When the Danes voted no to the Maastricht Treaty and the Irish to the Treaty of Nice, the referenda were repeated. When the French and Dutch rejected the EU constitution, the EU went on to include it in the Treaty of Lisbon. And when the Irish said no to that treaty as well, they had to vote again. The EU will ignore the result of the Greek referendum, as will the Prime Minister who had announced it. Tsipras's new administration imposes some of the harshest austerity measures the country has ever seen. At the same time, it sells off public assets, starting with the ports and airports. But how did the loud no of a population become a yes? Before the election in 2015, Syriza promises to write off most of the debt, and voters gave the party carte blanche to go ahead. But that promise was gone less than a day after the election.
Ο πύχης είναι η διαγραφή του μεγαλύτερου μέρους του χρέους, μορατόριουμ στην αποπληρωμή και ρήτρα
Όταν
ανάπτυξης.
λέτε του μεγαλύτερου μέρους πάνω από 50% δηλαδή.
Κύριε Χατζηνικολάου, αυτός είναι ο στόχος μας.
We want to create a rational plan for our debt restructure.
Okay, and you're talking about writing off half of it, is that right?
No. Listen, there is a lot of posturing before every negotiation. There's been a bit of posturing on our side.
The EU sees that the government doesn't keep its promises, even before the negotiation, and begins a relentless attack. The first blow comes from the ECB once again. After the new government is inaugurated, the ECB stops accepting Greek bonds as guarantees, forcing banks to resort to the ELA. Frankfurt can cut off liquidity at any time. A key role in the ECB's attack is held by Greece's central banker, Yannis Stonaras. When Tsipras was in opposition, he used to call Stonaras the creditor's mouthpiece. But when elected, he keeps him in the job. And Stonaras undermines all alternative plans to escape the crisis.
The central bank chief was basically bragging that behind the scenes he was undermining the government's efforts and blocking of making plans for a parallel currency if the ECB should shut down the banks.
Εσύ κάλεσε τους νομικούς συμβούλους της τράπεζας, παράγοντες του δημοσίου βίου που είχαν χρηματίσει οι πρωθυπουργοί, μίλησα με τον πρόεδρο της Δημοκρατίας. Φτιάξαμε, δηλαδή, ας το πω έτσι, ένα τείχος.
Όταν η χώρα βρισκόταν σε τρομακτική πίεση από πλευράς των δανειστών και ο Στουρνάρας ως διοικητής της Τράπεζας της Ελλάδος είχε ξεκάθαρα ταχθεί για άλλη μια φορά υπέρ των δανειστών και εναντίον της χώρας.
I find that rather scandalous that he can come out with that and not be put in jail because that is basically an open coup d'etat because he's a central banker, he has his central bank mandates, and he's bragging with doing politics. They blackmailed them and eventually even shut their banks just because the Greek people elected a government that they didn't like.
However, against all predictions, the referendum was not lost. The Greeks became the first people in history who went to vote while their banks were closed and said no to austerity. But their voice meant nothing to the EU or to the Greek government.
Alexis Tsipras changed completely and became a faithful servant of the German hegemony of Europe. When Tsipras decided that Greece's best interests, or maybe his personal best interests, were best protected by becoming a servant of Germany, around the summer of 2015, everything changed. Greece gave up its sovereignty again, and the result is still more stagnation.
Other countries too, like Spain and Portugal, received ultimatums from Brussels and Frankfurt, saying that they should change their fiscal policy. The leaders of those states, even if they wanted to, would not be able to challenge the orders, as long as they remained in the Eurozone. The ECB determined their every move, by controlling interest rates and liquidity. The question is, why did they decide to stay in the Eurozone? And most importantly, why EU officials went as far as to take part in the overthrow of democratically elected governments to save the euro. January 1st, 1999. A new currency appears on the international markets. For some, it's like a new religion.
Το ευρώ ανάμεσα στις πολιτικές ελίτ της Ευρώπης έχει πάρει διαστάσεις όχι απλά ιδεολογίας, αλλά σχεδόν θρησκευτικής πίστης. Είναι χαρακτηριστική μια δήλωση του Γκουτιέρες που είπε ότι όπως ο Χριστός είπε στον Πέτρο ότι αυτός είναι ο βράχος μου και πάνω σε αυτό το βράχο θα χτίσεις την εκκλησία μου, έτσι και για την Ευρώπη το ευρώ είναι ο βράχος πάνω στον οποίο θα χτιστεί και το μελλοντικό ευρωπαϊκό κράτος.
Jesus, however, kicked the money changers out of the temple. They were the bankers who speculated on the equity of currencies of the Roman Empire. Basically, they set the spreads of the time and bought off political leaders with their money. 2,000 years later, the money changers got their revenge by creating their own currency.
The euro was constructed in Basel, which is where all the bankers are situated, that the people on the committee for designing it were all bankers. This is a monetary system designed to suit the finance system, not to suit the people of Europe.
Before the banks could add their finishing touches, the economic and political elites had to be convinced that they needed the new currency. And they would impose it on the citizens. It was a huge undertaking in need of a gigantic lobby.
Το ΑΜΟΕ, ο Σύλλογος για την Νομισματική Ένωση της Ευρώπης, είναι ένα λόμπι που ιδρύθηκε το 1987 και είναι βασικά ένα πεδίο ενός άλλου λόμπι, της Τρογγυλής Τράπεζας των Βιομηχάνων, που είναι ίσως το πιο σημαντικό λόμπι στην ιστορία της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης. Η πρωτοβουλία πάρθηκε από βιομηχανικές εταιρείες όπως η Fiat, η Philips, η Total και άλλες.
I think it was a combination of people. As you know, there were Gianni Agnelli was the forefront of the issue.
Etienne d'Avignon, one of the first presidents of the AMUE, has his own story to tell. The Belgian parliament revealed his role in the overthrow of Congolese Prime Minister Patrice Lumumba that led to his assassination. But he's mostly remembered as the president of the Bilderberg Group, or vice president of the European Commission. He agreed to see us in his office at the headquarters of energy group Engie, one of the many companies where he's worked as CEO.
Agnelli was the first president, and then there was a Dutchman who left his position as CEO of Philips. And I was not in a bad position to continue. I was on the business side of the things, and I had the contacts.
Οι πνευματικοί πατέρες του ευρώ ήταν την ίδια στιγμή και οι πνευματικοί πατέρες της χρηματοπιστωτικής απελευθέρωσης στην Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση και σχεδόν όλοι τους δούλεψαν στη συνέχεια σε μεγάλες τράπεζες όπως η Goldman Sachs, η BNP Paribas και μεγάλες ασφαλιστικές εταιρείες.
But I do not consider myself as one of the founders of the monetary union. Because it simply would not be true.
With TouchNote, you can now send real thank you cards direct from your mobile. Choose your photo, write your message, and tap send for a heartfelt thank you. It's easy with TouchNote, the 5-star app.